Most of these people that are, I guess, here now are here basically on my request per se to discuss the security at the courthouse.
Go ahead. If you want to take the lead, go ahead.
Well, that's okay. Basically, and this was short notice. I attended, just kind of give y'all some background on why that's up today. I attended the ad hoc committee meeting last week on Thursday night, I believe, which Mr. DeWitt's chairman. And Lieutenant Woods was there and presented to the ad hoc committee recommendations for the courthouse security, equipment, things like that. Back like in 2016, I sat at that time on the Public Buildings Committee. And at that time, Lieutenant Woods come through and we looked at the courthouse and looked at Judy Patrick's office about another door, had some different issues that we looked at back in 2016, I believe it was. Memory kind of fades, but I think maybe that Lieutenant Woods had maybe done an evaluation even at that point. Best I remember, nothing really came from that. It came back before the ad hoc committee. My understanding is that it's come before at some point through the years. It's come before the budget committee and got spun around in the budget committee. It went to public safety committee, got spun around there. It's at the ad hoc committee, and basically yesterday I asked Ms. Davis to put this on the agenda for the personnel committee. It's like it gets passed from committee to committee to committee and nothing materializes. So I would like for this committee to hear these people, their concerns out, and hopefully make a recommendation to let's do something with this, guys. Let's quit passing it around and around and around. Let's either, and I'm just speaking my own opinion, but it's time to do something. We've had this situation at Volunteer High School, which we were quite fortunate at that. There is, in my opinion, issues at the courthouse with security. That's not my expertise, but going back in history, back when I was a kid, President John F. Kennedy was shot in Dallas, Texas. He was shot with a bolt-action rifle. They did studies, Warren Commission reports, things like that. John F. Kennedy was killed with a bolt-action rifle. FBI did tests and stuff on rifles with the same make and model and same caliber and stuff. And it took a minimum to fire 2 shots out of a bolt-action rifle, minimum of 2 1/4 seconds. People say that police departments across the street 3 minutes away, but if you think 2 1/4 seconds with a bolt-action rifle versus somebody with a semi-automatic rifle or a pistol or whatever, 3 minutes versus 2 1/4 seconds, anyway, that's why I asked y'all to come. So anyway, Lieutenant Woods.
Okay. Several years ago, I was asked by, it was Atlanta at the time, to do a study of the courthouse about some security issues, and I did the study. And of course, we had some budgetary problems and things like that. It never got voted on, and so it was just sort of set aside. And Ms. Davis asked me to go back and re-look at this study again, which I did, and did it last year in January. Does anybody have this packet, or do you need the packet? I've got some extras here, if somebody wants one. And I don't care to hand some out here. So, I went back and did a study again. Of course, prices change and things like that for equipment. You already got two?
I've got one.
Anybody else? Here you go. You got mine. So I did study again, and the information is inside there about cameras, alarms, and things like that. It also, in my opinion, would take 3 officers to man the area over there. Could be done with 2. Then it was brought up about the Churchill City County building, which I added to this also. We had some alarm issues up there. Some of that's been taken care of now, but it has no cameras or anything like that. Some of the office holders have put their own cameras in both buildings. So there is a lack of some security there. I have 3 security officers at the Justice Center, and I have been rotating them down to the courthouse at times. I think I may mention that I had been short 1 security officer, Derek Hensley. Derek's had cancer, and he spent the last year fighting cancer. He's back to work as of Monday. He came back to work, so that's a praise report. He's doing pretty good. He gets really tired, but I have him back. You know, that's the biggest thing for me. I'm still not to the point where I can constantly rotate people around. So, is it going to take more people to provide security for our courthouse? Yes, it will. If we do it according to this plan. Now, are there other options? There's been talk of modifying, the buildings and their offices in the annex and things like that. And I agree, there probably does need some work to be done over there. But when you talk about response time for a police officer, the average response time is 3 minutes. And there's just no difference in having somebody there that can help people just every day and that may be needed to respond to something bad happening. Whether it be a medical issue or an assault or, an attempted robbery or anything. Nothing beats a person being there to actually respond right when you're there. You guys have seen the packets. It's an older building. It's going to be hard to work on, but the company that we have been talking to, Teleoptics, is a company that the county currently uses, and they do good work. I have to give them that. They do good work. I would use them for a lot of things. So their quotes are in there. I don't. Problems that we may have is we may have problems finding somebody to fill the spots right now. We do have problems finding people. I think Mr. Alvis alluded earlier that even restaurants can't find people to work right now. And that may be an issue. But do we need to work on our security at the courthouse? Yes, we do. We do. And I think a lot of it's going to be up to the county commission as to how we do it and what you want to do. I'll take any questions you've got. I don't know what you want me to talk about.
I think a lot of the infrastructure part of this, the ad hoc committee has pretty much agreed that we're gonna try and pass on and get covered. What this committee really would be involved with would be the ongoing cost of the officers that would be involved in the project.
The initial cost, starting out for 3 officers, would be around $103,000. We could do it with 2 officers. May not be a permanent officer in Churchill. We may have to rotate people back and forth and things like that. but you could probably do it with 2. But 103,000 is a starting out. That includes buying uniforms and equipment, things like that. And then after that first year, the price would go down some. You know, because you no longer would have to make those purchases for uniforms and equipment. It'd be a one-time purchase for that officer. But on average, 103,000 starting out for 3 officers.
I'm done.
How, if you had the ability through the sheriff's department stuff to do that, to staff officers over there, how soon could you do that?
I can address that.
Yeah, it may be hard.
We're probably not gonna be able to hire them. As I've explained to the county commissions, I've been in office, we've trained them for other places. So if the county's blown millions of dollars training people somewhere else. Right now, I'm 7 positions down in the jail. I'm 1 SRO down now, and I've got a 90-some% possibility I'm gonna lose 2 patrol officers to better paying jobs within the next couple of weeks. So that's gonna give me about 10 people down and filling these positions. I'm not getting applications. I'm losing people, and it's been an issue for years, and it's getting worse. I've had to staff the jail, and but these positions are well and good, but I can't even fill the ones I got now.
In the past year, we've had to replace 2 security officers in the Justice Center. And just so happened, we had, we were lucky at the time. So if we lose another security officer in the Justice Center, then I don't know where we're gonna find that person real quick. It wouldn't be a real quick, turnaround on finding somebody. And like the sheriff said, maybe not, and we don't wanna just go out and hire just anybody. Because constant turnover is also, time consuming and budget consuming. So we want to try to find people that may be willing to stay with us and people who have, have a good background. So it's, it's just, I wish I could give you a time that we could hire somebody and put them in there, but there's no way I can do that.
And I don't know to ask you this question, sir, but, okay, if you had a choice between security equipment at, let's say, 103,000, or personnel at 103,000. I know they both work together and interlock.
There's a whole other figure for equipment.
But,
There's a whole other figure for equipment that, we can.
which is better,
Yeah. Well,
personnel or equipment?
in a perfect world, security would be a combination of both, okay? Good equipment, good communication, and people to man that equipment and to provide, foot patrols and things like that. So if you can't afford the people part of it, then yeah, the equipment would be great. Can we monitor cameras from the Justice Center? Absolutely, we can do that, with the equipment that Teleoptics provides. Again, we would be without that quick response time. You're looking at how long it takes a city officer to get here, or a county officer if he's close. That would be the only difference, but, we also look at what those people do too, is they greet people, they try to help them with any issues that they have when they come into the Justice Center, give them directions. There's other things they do too, also looking out for maintenance issues and problems and things like that. So, sometimes you do have to choose between what you can afford and what you can't afford. But our case right now is, will we be able to find the people? And it's getting harder to find people this day and time. And frankly, folks, nobody wants to do this job anymore. Nobody wants to work in law enforcement. It doesn't pay very well compared to the other industries and stuff, and it's getting hard to find people. It really is.
As Mr. DeWitt's already said, the ad hoc committees, how much you gonna budget for?
I don't recall what the exact figure was Lieutenant Wood probably knows more when he asked for, I don't have it in front of me.
Anyway, we have it before the ad hoc committee.
For the equipment.
For the
but
equipment.
The ad hoc committee can't recommend any recurring expenses.
Now, some of the equipment that I requested to the ad hoc committee was for body scanners and x-ray, not x-ray machines, but metal detectors for the Justice Center and one metal detector going to Churchill City County.
And cameras and things like that.
Yeah, the cameras and things like that would be for the courthouse here downtown and,
But that was all in that proposal.
yeah, that was all in that proposal. And this proposal here for cameras and door alarms, you know, that here too. This proposal here, I think the alarms and the cameras was around $40,000. And Churchill cameras were around $9,000. You know, no doubt the biggest part of this proposal, the biggest part of the money is people, you know. The equipment that I've requested for the Justice Center is very much needed for, you know, helping battle our drug problem that we have in this county and everywhere else, and trying to keep drugs and weapons out of our jail. I mean, that's what we need that for. But it's two separate.
I think it's another thing along the lines of what Larry Evans was talking about as far as, let's get, you know, consensus from this committee that those positions should be presented in the sheriff's department budget and roll from there.
I would like to support one officer for this annex here and one at Churchill, full-time under the sheriff's budget.
So you're saying two?
Yes, sir. Totally two, one here and one at Churchill.
Yeah. And if Lieutenant Woods is saying, you know, 3 is ideal, then put 3 in the budget and see where it lines up, where it ends up.
I mean, three would be ideal, but, you know, two can do it. And that would be probably 2 officers here and 1 rotating around through Churchill. So, I mean, it could be done. Finding the people would be the issue.
Yeah, 'cause I got them 10 positions on the field first for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, as a member of the ad hoc committee, I feel pretty comfortable, and I think Chairman DeWitt can vouch for that. But what you presented the other night, Lieutenant, it'll pass when Chairman DeWitt out.
Well, it'll move on through our committee.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I mean, I've worked in security stuff in the past, and I can do the studies and stuff like that. I've done them for industries and things, but, you know, I can't answer all the questions, but I'll try my
Let's
best.
see, timing is pretty much,
The thing,
yeah, and it's pretty much meshed because,
yeah.
you know, and I was talking to Eric the other day about how we move these things forward for the COVID relief money, and it's gonna be a couple months anyway before we can really do anything, figure out exactly how it moves forward. So as that's moving forward for the equipment, then if you present in the budget, then at least if they pass that, the people may not be there, but the money would be there too.
Yeah. But I think you really,
Make us a motion, okay?
Well, can I touch on a few things
Yeah.
before you guys make your motions? I do agree with what Mr. DeWitt has said, that the ad hoc committee money most likely will come back favorable to be done for the equipment. However, some of this equipment will not make a lot of sense if there's not an officer there to man it.
Right.
These wands and these x-ray machines aren't gonna
Right.
stop anybody if nobody's there to
But
say, hey, you know, this is flagged.
you got to understand, the body scanners, the x-ray machines are gonna be used in the Justice Center and the jail.
They will be manned.
They will be manned.
You're trying to add something as well to the courthouse annex,
No,
city
this-
county building, or
Two
no?
different.
You're not gonna add any of those?
No, not down here.
What about the wands
We have hand wands.
already?
Yeah, we
Okay.
have those. We've got those.
So I guess my motion is, this committee recommends that you present the positions, the personnel positions in the budget. And this committee also recognizes that the ad hoc committee has the rest of your proposal.
That'll be up to his budget.
Yeah, right. And I don't, I don't know that this committee can really say anything further than that. I mean, we can't
I think,
allocate any money out of this committee.
Yeah, I think you really need to listen to the office holders back here and these folks that come today and. let them talk about it.
What I'm saying is, my motion is this committee's in favor of
Yeah.
what you're trying to put forward, and it should move on.
So
in the
you are
process.
making a motion,
Yes.
not just a recommendation?
Yes.
Okay, I'll second.
And the motion is what, Commissioner?
The motion is the Personnel Committee recommends that Lieutenant Woods and Sheriff get together and put in their budget the personnel necessary. And we also recognize that the rest of his proposal has been presented to the ad hoc committee to move forward. Makes sense?
For
You're looking at me like it doesn't
You're
make
just
sense.
talking too fast, you're okay. 3 or 2?
3.
3 officers.
2 here and 1 in Churchill, correct?
But, if you're gonna put it in budget, you might as well put it in budget and then let the budget committee deal with it. I don't wanna pass it on, but we can't add that money to the budget. All we can do is say we support it, as far as I know. Jeff, you have any?
Well, I just wanted to be sure that basically that us six commissioners, 7 commissioners as a personnel committee are in favor of and support putting
Yeah,
police officers
that was my motion.
county annex.
That was my motion.
Okay, I'm good with that.
You got that, sir?
Roll call vote.
Yes, please.
Valerie Goins,
Yes.
Larry Clon,
Yes.
Jeff Barrett,
Yes.
Mark DeWitt.
Yes.
Danny Ellis,
Yes.
Sybil Von Trent.
Yes.
6 yes, motion carries.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Lieutenant Ruth.
I have a question for the sheriff in this budget. The fact that you have such a hard time hiring people, is it because that our county pays our officers so much less than surrounding area law enforcement?
Absolutely.
That would help solve your problem.
You would, and you can't blame these young officers, a lot of them younger, from going to another job where they can make 12 to 15 to 20,000 more a year, and we're just trying to send somewhere else. The county's been blowing money since I've been, this county's blown money since 1990s, training people
Right,
for other agencies, and just like Sheriff Cassidy,
right.
he needed 6 school resource officers, so he went to 3 different cities and got 2 each. And that's the way it should be in this county. When I have somebody retire, I go to the city and pick one of them instead of me supplying all the city.
Right.
And even though we're having an agreement, we send them to the county, it's cheaper and for the reimbursement for the academy. It's cheaper for a city to write us a check, reimbursing for the academy, than spending thousands of dollars sending somebody. So, we're, with equipment and stuff we're spending, it's absolutely ridiculous that we train people, highly trained people for somewhere else.
In my division, I've had officers leave to go work for factories. I've had officers leave to go work for gas companies. And one officer leave to go and teach. So, and that's including the SROs and the court officers that work in my division. So I've had them leave for a number of different kinds of jobs.
And the one that left to go teach is making close to $50,000 a year, which
He's
is
teaching ROTC at a nearby county school, and a high school. And he's probably making some good money.
I got a patrol officer right now, who's been here with me a couple of years, one of the best officers I got. He's making $33,000. He's going to a neighboring county, and his starting pay is $42,800. Why would he stay?
why would you stay? We need to keep that in mind, people, when the budget's put together.